January brought another month of Vinegar Syndrome releases, and I've been digging through them, and there are some real gems in this release, this set of releases. And I had already seen this film, but I watched it maybe a year ago, and I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was a really, really good movie, a really good fucked up movie, to be honest. And I was super excited to see this come to 4K. Being a subscriber, I get the packages every month, and it's always a hit or miss on what I'm getting and if I'm going to like it or not. But I did really enjoy this release. And the release I'm talking about is Deranged on 4K.
This is where the worst begins. The work of madness. Death! Of insane murder and lingering death. Deranged. For Mary, it was only the beginning. For Christine, it was already too late. For Dolly, the worst was yet to come. And only Mrs. Cobb knew what he would do next. Sometimes a story you don't want to believe is true. Crimes so brutal that the newspapers refuse to print their terrifying details. When the horror becomes unbearable, it is too late to scream. Deranged, rated R.
So I'm changing up the format a little bit, and from here on I'll probably be doing these reviews video by video. I'm not going to do one video reviewing everything in Vinegar Syndrome because I just really don't I don't get a lot of views on those videos, and it's a shame because I put a lot of time and effort into reviewing every release every month. So I'm going to do them separate so you guys can pick and choose which releases you want to learn about and just hear my thoughts on, right? So Deranged on 4K. This movie is insane. This is a slow burn 70s film with I think he's the neighbor in Home Alone, and it's basically the story of Ed Gein, but I would say it's very dramatized. I think there are things in this that probably didn't happen in real life, but obviously the wearing of the skin is one thing that they think did happen, and the skin furniture, of course. So Robert's Blossom in this movie is just insane. He's just crazy. And I think it's a really good, person gone crazy kind of movie. And I think that that really works out well for this film because, I think he does a really good job. There's some really gross stuff in this movie. And again, it does kind of feel like a slow burn at times. But I think that once it really hits the ground running, boy, does it start running. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to get too far into spoiler territory, but there's all kinds of just crazy shit in this movie. The whole ending sequence is very fucked up and kind of harrowing, and I won't explain what that is. I don't want to go into too much detail, but I think the ending is really just bizarre. It's not bizarre, it's just very, I don't know, messed up. It's something that I didn't really necessarily vibe with, but I do really like this movie. It's just I think back to Don't Go in the House, for example. I watched Don't Go in the House not too long ago, and it kind of reminds me of that. Don't Go in the House, it's very similar to something like that. Even though Don't Go in the House I think was after. It's much like, just you're watching someone go crazy, and they are crazy. And it's really good. I think his performance is great. I don't know if it needed a 4K because it didn't look super great in 4K. It's still very grainy. I think the definition's there. It definitely pulls out some of that definition that you would expect for it to pull out. But yeah, I don't necessarily know if it needed a 4K. And there's a scene at the beginning where he's his mom is dying and he's trying to feed her some kind of soup, and I didn't need to see that in 4K. I did not need to see any of that in 4K. There's some kind of green ooze and she's spitting up blood. It's just it's kind of gross. But otherwise, Deranged, great release, very, very good release. I'm going to go back and watch these special features now after watching the movie. There's some really good stuff in here. There's an intro with Tom Savini. I think that should have been like, you should have been able to select that from the menu. It should have just been there already. You shouldn't have to go into the special features to find it, but still. So you get all kinds of stuff here. There's commentary tracks with the writer co-director Alan Ormsby, commentary track with special effects artist Tom Savini, commentary track with historian Richard Harlan Smith. Also includes a Blu-ray with everything on the 4K, plus these new special features. Very Unnatural Deaths, a 12-minute interview with Tom Savini. It Was a Fun Time, a 12-minute interview with actor Brian Smeagol. Disturbed, Demented, Deranged, a 24-minute interview with Nightmare USA author Stephen Thrower. He seems to be on all of these releases. Vinegar Syndrome loves Stephen Thrower. He's on a lot of this stuff. The Making of Deranged, a 13-minute archival documentary. An interview with producer Tom Carr. An introduction to the film by Tom Savini. 3 original trailers and an image gallery. So, stacked release for Deranged. Did it need a 4K? I don't think so. Should you get this? Maybe. Good movie. Fucked up movie. You could wait for a sale. I don't see this one selling out anytime soon. I don't know if many people even know what this is, but it's Tom Savini effects in 4K. That's great. I like it. I'm really glad this was a release of theirs. For me, it's more like, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5 probably. It's very high end for me, but I do really enjoy it. I think it's a great movie. But it is fucked up, and I like fucked up movies. So that's my review of Deranged. This is number 490 in the VS line. So again, like I said, I'm going to be putting out separate videos reviewing all of the releases from Vinegar Syndrome for the month of January. And we'll see how that goes. I enjoyed Deranged, and that's what I've got to say about Deranged. It's good. If you like screwed up stuff, watch it. If you like TCM, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, this is very similar in a way. Which, Ed Gein, they say that TCM was based off Ed Gein anyways. So, it's that sort of thing. Great stuff. Vinegar Syndrome did an incredible job on the transfer. I always feel weird when I watch something on Tubi and it's something I'd never heard of, and then like a month or maybe even a year later, Vinegar Syndrome puts it out. I'm like, damn, now I've got to rewatch it. I just watched it. But I wonder if those Tubi transfers, that look good sometimes, I wonder if those are VS transfers that they've just given the Tubi for the time being until they put out a physical. I really don't know, but it seems that way because Deranged on Tubi looked great. Deranged on 4K looks even better. So that's all I've got to say about Deranged. If you like this kind of content, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit the bell below to be notified on all future videos, and I'll see you next time.